Hey friends, in every house there is a super kids. How you train them, they become like that. How you learn them, how you train them the all skills, they become like that. We have to just understand that how to communicate with your kids, with your job, with your clients, with your speech. You have to just understand that. Because if one time your communication is going to be your better, your life is going to be your better, because the communication determines the quality of your life. And like that you should be. You have to make your communication very good. It should be empowering, it should be very nice, and with that you are going to success. So first of all, we have to give the time bound. Now let's understand about that. How we will give the time bound. Now if you are talking with anyone, you have to don't just show your tie like that. Don't watch your watch. Don't just touch your phones many time, because with that it is going to create a bad impact. If one time you are going to do like that, just like that, so he is not going to listen you like that. You have to listen him. You have to give the time. If you are talking with anyone, give the whole full time till the time the talk don't end, because that is the giving the time bound. Because if we are working on any goal, so we have to give the time bound, and if we are going to give the time bound, so we are going to success, make our kids to success in their life. We have to give the time to everyone. If we are talking even with our kids, we have to talk in more detail. We have to give the detail. We have to know about them, what language they are talk most in, how they understand, in which language they understand, how they understand. We have to understand that everything. Because see, if they are going to have a long-term vision in their life, they are going to having a time, so they are going to have better communication. And that is what is important. A better communication is very, very important thing. So that is the reason that we have to give the time on our kids. We have to appreciate our kids, because appreciation is the key. Appreciation is the key. You have to give lots of appreciation. Even you can give the fake appreciation, or even you can give real appreciation. Because if you have done the work which is not right, you can give them fake appreciation, but don't say you are wrong, because with that the impact is going to be like that. How you will say, their mindset will start becoming like that, because how you will get the vibration in their mind, they are going to become like that. And that is the reason that we have to always appreciate them. That is very important. If you're talking with anyone, like your clients, your job related, your speech, anything, you have to just appreciate them. And if you are going to appreciate them, so they are going to appreciate you. They are also going to listen you. They are going to always listen you. They are going to always support you. And that is how your communication will decide your success. Because the super kids, the super person, the every person is is important. If how you will train them, they will become like that. That is the reason that we have to communicate with our kids. We have to, with our job clients, with our speech, everything should be better. If we will do appreciation, so everything will be better. That is the reason that we have to appreciate them. Either they do small tasks, we have to appreciate them, lots of appreciation, because with that they will do more extra work, more extra good work. And if you will add, you have not done good work at first, but right now you have done good, that is the reason, this is the real appreciation. If you will speak like that, so they will not follow you. Are you understanding? And you have to give them a long-term vision, because vision is everything. If they are going to have a vision, means they are having a goal, they are going to have a specific goal in their life, man. That is the reason that we have to give them a long-term vision. We have to give them goal cards. We have to give them to-do list. We have to contain a diary for our kids to write their to-do list, because these all things are very, very important. So that is the reason that we have to know our kids. We have to understand about them, what things they like, how much language they like, how they want to talk. We have to understand that all thing. And if you're talking with people, you have to understand their age group. You have to understand from which language they are, from which degree they have taken, in which language they speak. We have to always remember their name and call them like that. Because if one time you will know your audience, understand the deep analysis, like going and checking their Facebook account, their Instagram account, means you are having a deep analysis. Like that, you should do a deep analysis about your kids. You should make your kids to go in every field, and in which field they are good, we have to give them. We have to know our kids, and if one time we are good to understand them. So the friendship is the key. If one time it is going to happen, friendship, it is going to break never. It is not going to make his talks a secret. He will share with you. Are you understanding? So that is the reason that we have to know our kids, and we have to make our kids to be smart. Now let's understand that how we are going to make our kids to be smart. Because see, if they are doing anything, they are in a career. If your job client is doing anything, you have to show them a one thing, because that should be specific. If your kids are in any career, you have to don't just then like that. Sign objection them. Don't teach them this lesson. You have to teach them the lesson of a specific goal. Because if they are going to have specific goal, so they are going to success in their life. That is about specific goal. If they are studying anything, that should be specific, not again here and here and here. That should be specific. And once it is going to be specific, so they are going to measure that very nicely. And it is going to measure by their goals. If they are making their goal, okay, I have to do this today, I have to do that tomorrow, I have to do that all. If you are measuring that, so that is means you are measuring that everything. Because see, measurement is a very, very important thing. How we measure our kids, that is very, very important. That is the reason that lots of the people say that we have to make our kids to make the goal. That is about the whole parenting tips. That is how you can make your any person. That is how you can communicate with any person. That is about make your kids smart, because that should be achievable, that should be realistic. Because if your kids goal is not realistic, like sunny object syndrome, if they see that in their school classmate one is doing like that, one is doing like that, one is doing like, then you have to teach your kids. Everyone have different choice. Like that, you have to understand what is the choice of your kids. Are you understanding? Yes. So that is the reason that we have to make our kids to make the goal and have a specific goal, and we have to give also in that time bound. We have to also help to our kids, because kids need our help. Because if we are not going to help, we are going to just tell, do this, they will do some mistakes, man. We have to just encourage them. You can do it, you can do it. We have to don't tell, we have to make them to take their own opinion. Just we have to give some hints. That is how. If you are going to train them like that, they are going to become like that. That is how you can communicate with your kids. That is how you can communicate with any person. So we have to always make the goal specific, measurable, and achievable. Now the next thing is reward your kids. If your kids are doing any good work, like they study well, they do any work well, they have get it any result in their, like they are doing any work and they get the result, so you should give your reward, a gift, because that is very, very important. That encourage your kids, means that shows to your kids that you are appreciating them, and once you appreciate them, so it is amazing. Are you understand? So that is the reason that we have to give the whole time bound to our kids, help them, we have to understand them, and our kids have to be super kids. You have to know your kids' priorities. What are our kids' priorities? What things they like, what things they want to do, what things they want to become in their life. You have to know them priorities. Because so if once they are going to be comfortable, so they are not going to do anything. They are not going to do lots of shouting and throwing the householding things as a form of fry. They are going to be happy. That is the reason that you have to know the priorities of them. What they like, what they want to do, what the students they like, what they want to do in their free time. We have to know their every priorities. And once we know their priorities, so we are going to success. We are going to be a successful parent. Like that, you should know your people priority. If you are talking with your people, anything, like if you are talking about any appreciation, like you are appreciating about the hairs, like my hairs, I've created these spikes. Why? Because see, we have to appreciate them. Just like that, I have my spikes here, I am appreciating me. Like that, you should appreciate yourself. Like that, you should teach to your team members that appreciate yourself. You have to tell them, and that is the way of talking. Do you understand? Type yes. Because there is always inside to outside feeling. Are you understanding? There is always an inside to outside feeling. Because see, if that creates the environment, because see, you have to tell them that inside to outside, we have to always be happy, and then our kids are going to be happy. Then inside to outside is going to be happen with your kids. We have to just smile. We have to always teach them positive things. With that, they are going to smile, and their environment is going to be like that. Don't ask. So that is the reason that we have to know our kids' priorities. And there is always an inside to outside. Have a desire. Ask with your kids, what is your burning desire? Like they have our desire. If like you have to give them an example. Like if the head is underwater, what they need? They need oxygen. They have to do like that till the time they will not have oxygen. That is the burning desire. Like that you have to teach your kid what is your burning desire, and then if they will do anything in their career, they are going to have a burning desire and they are going to success in their life. That is about burning desire. Okay, so you have to understand your kids that what is their desire, not their desire, the burning desire. So then you are going to successful. That is how you talk with anyone. That is how you are going to make your kids successful leader. Now let's start that how we are going to talk with our kids, how we are going to communicate with them, and we are going to be successful. We have to spend the quality of time with our kids. Now let us understand about that. We have to spend the quality of time with our kids. We have to give to our kids. How much time we do have? We have 30 minutes, we have 1 hour. How much time we do have? We have to give that time to our kids, because that time is very, very precious. If you are going to give that time to your kids, the quality of time, because see, if the parents are just doing their work saying the next time, so they are not giving their family the quality of time. Like that, you should give to your family the quality of time. You have to just go to your kids, ask them what you want to do, my son. Then what they will say. I do drawing, dancing, music, speaking, playing games, watching TV, whatever they will say, whatever activity they will say, you have to make them to do. Because see, your kids are very, very important thing in your life. How you will train like that, they will become like that. So that is the reason that we have to spend the quality of time with our kids. We have to give the time, and that is all. Because if one time we are going to be emotionally connected with our kids, so we are going to success. Okay, so that is the reason that we have to give to our kids the quality of time, and when we are going to give to our kids quality of time, so they are going to success. Okay, so that is about giving the quality of time and emotionally connect with your kids. Because see, you have to admit your child mistake very quickly. Because see, if they are at any relationship, at any place, if they've done a mistake by mistakenly, they what do? They say, this is not my fault, this is not my fault. With that, what happens? The relationship get bad. He says, this is your fault. So you have to just make your child to admit that. You have to tell them, yeah, it is your fault. That time they are going to feel bad, but the relationship are not going to be bad. Because if the relationship is going to be bad, so our kids' communication is going to be bad. That is the reason. If they are talking with anyone, they are talking with our peer group, in their school, anywhere, they have to focus on that and just admit their mistake very, very quickly. Because one time if they do mistake, they learn. But if they do mistake again and again, that is their habit. We have to change that habit into a successful habit, because habits will not change. Habits will not means go, it will change. That is the reason that we have to change our kids' habit like that. If any person do any mistake, if we also do any mistake from front of any person, we have to just admit that very quickly. With that, our kids are going to observe us. Because see, every person see through the environment, observe it, and take action like that. That is the reason that we have to admit our child's mistake very, very quickly, and we have to be a good listener. Because see, people like them who are smart, but people more likely them to who are a good listener. If you are going to be a good listener, so you are going to success in your life. Your kids are going to success in their life. Because see, A good listener means a person who's always listening to everyone. Anyone is saying anything, they're just listening them. That is the reason that we have to be a good listener. And if we are going to be a good listener, our kids are going to be a good listener. That is the reason we have to teach to our kids that we have to listen 80% and ask the question related to that 20%. The knowledge that you have, that your kids have, but we need more knowledge like that. We have to apply that knowledge. If he's going on other talks, we have to again make him to come in on his talks. That is the formula of being a good listener. That is the reason that we have to be a good listener. We have to listen to everyone. Whatever they are saying, listen them, and we are going to success. Okay? So that is about we have to be a good listener. Because see, we have to teach to our kids avoid argument. Because see, if you do argument, see, if you will do argument in front of any person, your kids will also do like that with their friends. With even small things, you take it and just argument. You have to avoid that argument by saying, yes, I have done the mistake. That is the reason that we have to avoid the argument. For small things, we do the argument, our relationship get more bad and more bad. And that is the reason. That is how. That is the reason we have never our argument, and we are going to success in our life. Because argumentation is very unuseful. It is never useful, man. If it is going to be useful, so everyone does like that. But it is unuseful. We have to don't use that. Because what happens? You are going to win in argumentation, but you are not going to win that person through the heart. It's love. That is the reason that we have to avoid the argument. Because arguments are unuseful. If we will do argument, so no one will talk with us. No one will even talk with us. And that is the reason that we have to avoid the arguments. Because see, everyone have to make their own opinion like that. You should make your kids to make their own opinion. Now let us understand about that how we have to make our kids to make their own opinion. Now, if they ask any question to you, you have to give them some hints, but not full answer. Like you do this. You have to give them some time. Like if they ask any question, now what shall I do? You have to talk with them. That you have to make your own opinion. What do you think about that? You have to just do like that. And if we are going to do like that, of their self, that they have to take an opinion by their own self. Never give your own, take their own opinion. That is the reason that we have to make our kids to take their own. Don't compare our kids with other. Now let's understand about that. Why we should don't compare our kids with other. Because if you are to compare, like, see how he's doing the maths, see how he's doing the music. Yeah, the kids have one goal. Why you are making them to see the examples of the other toppers in the school? They have one goal. So give them the example of successful people, not the people who are, not the kids who are in the school. Are you understanding? Don't compare. If you are comparing with them, compare them with the biggest successful people. With that they are going to feel good. With that they are going to feel very good. Like that you have to don't compare your client with anyone. Because if you are going to compare, your client is never going to do any good work. Okay? That is the reason that we have to never ever compare our kids with other. Okay? Now, we have to never criticize our kids. Because see, criticism to our kids is very bad thing. Because if you criticize your kids, it is your mistake, it is your mistake. So our kids are going to feel very bad. They are going to feel that this is my mistake. Because how you are going to give the vibration in their mind like that, it is going to be happen. If you are going to giving the vibration, it is your fault, it is your fault. So they are going to be like that. That is the reason. Never criticize them. This is your mistake. Why you not remember them? Yeah, we have to don't do like that. We have to don't criticize. We have to don't play blame game. We have to teach our kids that how you can success. That is the reason that never criticize, because a criticizer, a complainer, a negative energy giver is a no. That's the reason that we have to never criticize them, and when we are going to never criticize them, so they will feel good. That is how you can never compare. You have to never compare them with the average kids, and you have to never criticize them with small things. Do you understand? Now, sacrifice for your kids. Yes, if you have holiday of your work from home, and you are just on the bed and watching the TV like that your kids are going to do, they are not going to attend the classes, they are also going to be like you. If you are going to sacrifice for your kids, changing the habits, so our kids are going to also change the habits and the success. Because see, habits are very important, because habits become their behavior, and their behavior is going to be in their mind. That is the reason we have to sacrifice for them. If we are doing anything which is a bad habit, we have to don't do that bad habit, because our kids learn. Our kids when learn, then do like that. If you are going to do some bad habits like throwing the householding things, too much shouting, so our kids have to be like that. If at your home you are too much shouting and do lots of bad things like throwing that all things, so your kids have to observe that. Because see, every person observe. First see the environment, then observe from it, and then take action on it. Like that. You should sacrifice for our kids. And if you are going to sacrifice for our kids, so our kids are going to be the best. Your kids have to be the amazing. Your kids are going to be the next generation leaders. And that is the reason that we have to sacrifice from them. Because see, first we have to don't focus on the fruits. When the fruits will grow, first of all we have to nurture the root. We have to give that water. We have to, not too much water, we have to make them to give that water. Let's consider an example. On our balcony, give 2 pots. And at one pot give the water, and the another pot will be like that. It will take water, and that is how it is going to be stand on their own. And if one time you are going to sacrifice for them, not again and again, just make them to take their opinion by their own, and they are going to success. That is the reason that we have to sacrifice for your kids. Nurture your kids. You have to nurture your kids. You have to nurture your kids because see, if you are going to nurture your kids, how is the plant growing? That is very important thing. Now let's understand that how we will nurture to our kids. We have to first of all understand them. What they are doing, we have to understand them. Because see, if you are going to nurturing means just understanding that what they like, what they want to do, and what they will do in their career. That is the reason that we have to nurture to our kids. Nurture them with positive things. You can do it. Always giving the positive affirmations to our kids, and they are going to success. That is the reason that we have to nurture them. Nurturing means focusing on their small mistakes and again trying them, and they will again success. You have to make them to take some risks, some small things, risk in their life. Then they will take their opinion by their own. That is how their thinking pattern is going to be grow. That is the reason that is how we can nurture to our kids. Accept your kids. Yes, accept your kids. Now let's understand about that. We have to accept to our kids, because see, if any kids do any mistake, we have to accept them, because mistake everyone do, but how we understand them. That is very important thing. We have to accept our kids, man, because see, they do anything, we have to tell them. You have to do like that. You have to do like that. You have to tell them the things very detailed. Because if you are going to do like that, so it is going to like that. We have to accept them, because we have to don't think about the different things. Don't worry that your children never listen to you. Worry that they are always watching you. That is the reason that we have to accept our kids. They do any mistake, just accept them. And that is how we are going to make our kids the super kids. That is how you can talk with your kids. That is how these all things you can follow. If you are talking with anyone, you can follow on them, or any client, you can follow them, any speech, or your kids, you can follow these things. That is the reason this thing is very, very important thing. Accept them. Be interested in your kids. Show interest to get interest. Why? Why interest is very, very important thing. Because see, if we are going to be interested in them, if they will speak anything, we will listen them. Yes, we have to be interested in them, and we have to listen them 80%. Because if they're talking us with their syllabus, their curriculum, and if we talk something different in the talk, he also goes different. You have to don't give them some like argumentation in the between. You have to just listen them. Not to do also too much talks like, okay, this is nice. Just you have to say yes. Because see, if you will do like that, your kids will distract on another thing. You do understand? Because see, you have to also show to your kids sympathy, empathy. Because see, if your kids are having a problem, you have to understand their problem. You have to then be like that. That is how you can be interested in your kids, interested fully in your kids. And if you are going to just give your quality of time, your interest on him, so just you have given very less time, and whatever you will say, your kids will do that. Your kids will follow that. You have to just listen to our kids and solve the problem. If they have any problem, just have to solve that problem. Now let's talk on very, very crucial things for the parents, for the kids, how to communicate with the kids. There are 4 types of parent. Authorization. Authorization means what we say to our kids, just we are saying like that. What I have said, just do like that in a loud voice. That is authorization. Then democratic. Democratic means talking with your kids. If this will happen, so what you will do? If this will happen, so then what you will do? You will talk with them and then understand them. That is called democratic. And then, if we have understand about democratic, the next third type of parent is permissive. What you want to do, do. They are free. Because this is very important thing, permissive. We have to make our kids permissive. What they want to become in their career, what they ask with us, we give them. What they ask with the software, we have to give them. We have to never do no, because that is about their career, not about your career. That is about their career, not your career. That is the reason a permissive having is a good thing, but not too much. What they ask, you will just give. If they ask to anything, we have to give them. We have to give them, tell them the value of money, and then that is how he is going to do budget. That is how. That is a permissive parent. It is going to be good, but not too much permissive. Then after that, the next thing is neglectful. Totally, you have to ignore this, because neglectful means if your kids are with whom friends, smoking, drinking, whatever they are doing, we are just neglecting them. We are not thinking about them, because see, neglecting means not uninvolved. If you are uninvolved in your kids, they are going to make their life as like they are going to destroy their life, because neglective is very good, very bad, but democratic is very good. Authoritarian and neglectful and pervasive is right, but we have to be democratic. Democratic is the most important thing. We have to be democratic with our kids. We have to teach, because if we are not going to do like that, we have to be neglectful. If we have to do the 3 things, the authoritarian, the permissive, the neglectful, so our kids are going to destroy their life. And that is the reason that we have to follow these things. And that is how, that's just the types of parent. So let us repeat. Authorization, what I say, do like that. Democratic, let us talk with us. Permissive, what you want to do for your career, do that. And then neglectful means not know that what he is doing. That is the 4 types of parents. Now, when you have become a democratic parent, always play with your kids. Why? You have to play with your kids, because friendship is the key. If one time it is going to, your kids are going to be friendship, they are never going to hide the secrets with you. That is the reason that we have to always be friends, because if they have always any problem, they have any secret, they have to share with you. They are not going to be in there. They have to share with you. You are going to then again tell what is the solution. That is the reason that you have to play with your child. Now, when you have played with your child, you have to never micromanage your child. Now, let's understand about micromanage. If our kids do any small mistake, we have to don't manage them. They will own think by their own self. Because if you are going to micromanage this mistake, they will think I'm doing lots of mistake. We have to give some risk to them. We have to give some mistakes to them, and then they are going to be right. If they will be like not good, so you have to tell them this is the right thing, and if they are going to be not right, so you have to tell them this is right. And that is the reason you have to don't too much micromanage your kids on the small mistake. If you are managing on too much, that's not right. Don't micromanage your kids. Create and maintain a daily routine. Now, we should give our kids a goal, because a goal is a very, very important thing. If we are giving them a goal, we are daily maintaining of their routine, their morning routine, everything, so they are going to be like successful in the life. Like that, you should maintain the daily routine. Whenever they wake up, you have to tell them what you have to do right then. Because if one time it is going to be happen, their mindset is going to create like that. You have to tell them the first morning you have to fresh, exercise, study. This all things, if you are making the timetable, that is the best thing for your kids. That is the reason that we have to create and maintain a daily routine. Like I have also my goal card. Like that, you should make your kids your goal card. You have to tell them everything, and like that, they have to success. Now, when we have to create a maintain a daily routine for our kids, so they are to success. Gamification of value inculcation. How does understand that? Gamification of value inculation. Now, whenever you have to make that some gamification, you have to play games with our kids. It does not mean like that. You have to take some tokens. You have to like if they do any good work. They wake up early in the morning, they eat their breakfast, they do exercise, they study, they do their homework, they always help you. So you have to give them the coins. If they do anything bad, just cut from that. Because see, with that, it is going to be in their practice, and when they are going to practice like that, it is going to be in their habit, and that is going to help them in their career. And you understanding the scientific reason of your child. No understanding? That is the reason. So that is the reason that we have to make that a practice to a gamification. Because our kids don't learn too much just by speaking, just by listening. Our kids learn us by watching. That is the reason that we have to gamification of value inculcation. Never say to your kids that you are wrong. Never ever say to your kids, because see, this is a very, very important thing to talk with anyone. Even if you're talking with any person, never say that you are wrong, because that is the way of talking. If one time you will say you are wrong, so it will be like that. You will think, because the vibration is going to become like that. So that is the reason, never say to your kids that you are wrong, because if one time you will say you are wrong, you have done that and this thing not right, so that is going to come in their their mindset, and when it's going to come their mindset, they are going to be their vibrations, and when it is going to be vibration like that, so they are not going to achieve any result in their life. So that is the reason that we have to never say to our kids that they are wrong. If one time we will say your kids are wrong, so they will become like that, and their mindset is going to be like that. Now, use high energy word. Always, whenever you come from any place, you have to use high energy word. Because if you are going to be using high energy words, I can do anything, I am successful, I can do anything, like I'm the best. If you are doing like that, so that is very, very important thing. Everyone understand? Now let's understand about that. High energy words means using the positive vibration, using the positive affirmations, like I am pure, I am perfect. With our kids, doing meditation, use the words like I am pure, I am perfect, I can do anything, I am going to success, my kids is going to success, my kids are going to stand big empires, like that. You have to motivate them. And when we are going to motivate them through positive words, so they are going to success. Like that, we have to always motivate them. Always we have to use the high energy words. Be honest with our kids. Yes, we have to be honest with our kids, because if we are going to be honest with our kids, always talking the real thing, always talking the thing which is correct, we have to do like that. So we are caring them. We have to care them, because care is very, very important thing. Because if we are going to care them, so they are going to always follow us. The whole day they are going to follow us. Now let's understand the process of it. Now I have seen in many houses, and I've seen my friends, like their parents always shout that, oh, like wake up, wake up, wake up. You like give them use bad language. And when we say wake up and bad language plus with that, so he feel bad and he never speaks. Like wake up early in the morning. So there is a process of it. What do? You have to sleep with him or her for 3 or 4 minutes, and we have to say slowly, son, your waking time is going to happen. But we have to just do like that. We have to sleep with them. We have to give the hands on his like back, because it is scientifically proven. If we have to rub our kids on like that, so they, when it is going to scientifically proven, so every type of chemical in like becomes like dopamine and the all good feeling chemicals release in their mind. Are you understanding? So that is the reason that we have to always care them. And if we are going to care them, so they are good success. We have to love our kids, because our kids are our world. If we are going to train them like asset, they are going to be our asset. If we are going to train them like liability, they are going to be our liability. Then when we have to do the caring, we have to share. Now let's understand about that. If we are going to share with our kids, now let's understand how we will share. If we will share, so it becomes a positive mindset for our kids. Because if we share with them, because when we share, means when your kids eat, you can set your own time. Because if you are going to set your own time, so they are going to success. Because see, you have to set your own time, like your breakfast, and when your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner. In these 3 times, on which time your kids listen to you most, that is very, very important thing. You understand? So that is the reason that we have to share them. We have to, when they are eating, we have to tell them what I have today done in our office. Then slowly they are going to connect with us. What I have done in my school, what I have done today, like that we can connect with our kids. Okay, like that we are going to connect in our kids. Now when we have done the sharing, so we have to daring. Now let's understand about the daring process. First at the morning, then at the like lunch, then after that at the night. Now let's understand about that. When our kids sleep, so you have to tell them positive like stories, because with that they are going to have a motto of their like tomorrow day. We have to give them like positive moral stories. I understand. So that is the reason that we have to always do like that, and then our kids are going to success. So we have to dare, because they are going to have a motto. They are going to have a motto of yes, I can do it, and that's about the daring point. And if you want to communicate with anyone, follow this all things with everyone, and we have to make our kids daily routine, because we have to ask about our kids what is your daily routine, and at the sharing point we have to ask with them very crucial questions. We have to connect with them. If we have to just give this much time on our kids are going to listen whatever task we will speak. Because see, we have to write at one time the target and one time achieve. Because see, at one line we have to write the target. What is the target? Because we have to write that today you will do that, like that, and then what I have achieved. Then you have to write what I have achieved and just tick that what you have achieved. and you should do any 5 productive things, or you should do that thing related to based on your IQ, EQ, and SQ and AQ. We have to also follow these things. Now let's understand about this. That is the reason. That is how we are going to success. That is how we can communicate with our kids in the better way, and they are going to be the super kids. That is how you will create your super kids. If you are talking with anyone, just follow these things, and if you are going to follow these things with anyone, they are going to connect with you, with emotionally, with friendship, with every emotion, with also emotional attachment is going to be happen, and you have to follow these all things, and that is the reason. Because see, we have to make our kids to take their own action. Let's understand about that, how we are going to make our kids take their action. First of all, we have to teach our kids to accept their problem. Now let's understand about that. We have to teach our kids that how they accept their problem. Because the problem are in everyone's life, but how do we deal with that? That is a very, very important thing. If we are going to deal with them like the better way, so they are also going to be followers. That is the reason that we have to always accept their problem. We have to make our kids to accept their problem. We have to make our kids to be with a peaceful mind and accepting their problem. That is a very, very important thing. Then when we have accept the problem with a peaceful mind, so it is going to be a very important thing. Now let's understand. Then when we have accept our kids, so we have to don't make compete with our kids. Because see, if you are going to compete our kids with others, so it is not going to success. Because see, you have to follow your kids, because know your kids' priority. Because see, if you are going to understand your kids' priority, what they like, what they want to achieve, if you are going to understand about this whole thing, so they are going to success. Because having a priority in their life is very, very important thing. Like that, you should, like your awareness of your kids. What are your awareness of your kids? You have to understand that. You have to understand that priority. And when we are going to have that priority, so we are going to success in our life. And that is the reason the priority, having a priority is very, very important thing. Now, when we have made our kids priority, we have to talk about idea. I always have to make our kids talk about idea. Because see, idea is a very, very important thing. That is the real talks. That is the reason that is how we are going to talk with our kids. That is how we are going to talk with anyone. We have to talk about idea. Because see, if we are going to have an idea, we have to always talk with them. We have to and follow that idea with our kids. If we are going to follow that idea with our kids, so we are going to success. We have to follow that idea. And once we have followed that idea with our kids, because see, always there is idea to execution. Never ever, like if you have think that an idea and not doing that, that's not right. Every successful person implement his idea. You have to tell your kids about desire. What is your desire? Then you have to tell them. You should not have a desire. You should have a burning desire, because the having a burning desire is a very, very important thing. Burning desire. Because what is the burning desire? That is a very, very important thing. Because see, if the head is underwater and you are doing like that, why? Because the lack of oxygen, we have to do like that. What our kids need, what is their priority, we have to give them like that, because they are going to do like that in their life. We have to give them the O2, like their solution. Okay? Do you understand? So that is the simple formula of the kids, and then our kids are going to success. Now, so that is the reason that how we are going to success. So that are the everything which make our kids a super kids. And that is how you are going to talk with anyone. That is how you are going to make your kids a successful kids. And that is all about this. All things I've right now given you pointers that all are about how to communicate with our kids, how to communicate with our clients, how to communicate with the people. That is the reason. That is how we have to follow this all things, and once we are going to follow this all things, so our kids are going to be super kids, our clients are going to be super clients, and we are going to be a super communicator. And that is how you are going to communicate with your kids, and our kids are going to be your super kids. Follow this all things, and you are going to be success in your life.